We're back now with the au pair affair trial. The first week of court is wrapped up. Brendan Banfield is accused of murdering his wife and a stranger through an elaborate scheme to be with his family's nanny.
All right, and our team is highlighting the big moments in court this week. I want to warn you that some of the photos that you're about to see in the story may be disturbing. Wrapping up week one of this trial, a lot of evidence brought into play, a lot of witness testimony, including from the au pair herself, Juliana Perez Magalhães. I want to get to Drew Wilder now, who has been inside the courtroom every day, monitoring all the things that our cameras have seen, most importantly, the things that we've not been able to see. So, Drew, going into week two, what stands out to you?
For me, it had to be those crime scene photos inside of the bedroom. They were gory, they were tough to look at, blood-soaked carpet, but that was the very first time that we've seen inside the bedroom after the crime, and it started to lay out an idea of what might have happened inside of that room.
The highlight of the week was the bombshell testimony from the au pair. Was she testifying or was she auditioning, as the defense would have you believe? But the prosecution came hitting back pretty hard. 911 calls, medical evidence, forensic evidence, and other detectives and crime scene investigators. So the question before the jury at this early stage is going to be, was the au pair's testimony purchased, or is it backed by independent proof?
So we've been keeping track of every witness, every sentence that's been said in a live blog. I want to go now to some of our producers who've been keeping track of this literally with like every keystroke and let you hear from them. What stood out to them? What were the most notable moments in this week one trial?
On the first day of testimony, we heard from 4 Fairfax County police detectives who talked about the chaotic scene when they first arrived and potentially mishandling some evidence. We heard about an officer who stepped on the knife that was used in the stabbing. And then the biggest shock for all of us here in the control room was when we heard that Brendan Banfield was allowed to wash the blood from his hands in the hospital after hearing the news that his wife had just died.
What, if anything, did you see him do while you were in the hospital room with him?
He washed his hands.
And before he washed his hands, had anyone swabbed his hands to preserve samples of blood that were on his hands?
No.
Fairfax County 911, where's your emergency?
My name is Brendan Banfield. I'm a federal agent. This is my house. There's somebody here. I shot him.
What I found interesting about day one of testimony was the 911 operator giving us a glimpse of what happened on the day that it all went down. Brendan made sure that he identified himself as a federal agent on the phone, but when the police got there, he didn't do that.
You were charged with murder because you shot someone. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
And so why would you deserve something because of that?
One thing that came out that really surprised me was that she was talking about selling her story and talking to media outlets. I thought that was surprising.
There is no court on Monday for the federal holiday. The trial resumes Tuesday, and we'll be streaming it live on YouTube and at NBCWashington.com. And you can tune in for a special weekly recap every Thursday night at 7:30 with me, Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder, our NBC News legal analyst. That's all right here on NBC4.